Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottom it out, Novogratz is bullish. Bottom it out, don't ever rise is deadish.
Bearish calls with 13 punches.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.
Hey guys, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Thursday, May 9th. I've got big news to share with you guys. Let's take a look at the market. Bitcoin currently at $6,178. It is pumping pretty well, up significantly here. We just saw it cross over 6,000 yesterday. However, the altcoins are taking a pullback, and Ethereum is currently at just over 169, XRP just over $29. $29. I wish it was $29. But you know, the market across the board with altcoins is down between like 1 to 3%. However, big Binance coin is taking a pretty hard hit here. It's like down, looks like near 7%, probably due to the lingering effects of the hack that took place on Binance. So let's see how this continues to play out. You know, obviously young market, volatile, a lot of trading and technical analysis and bots activity happening. So we had some alt season not too long ago, so maybe that's the pullback taking place here. But we know for the most part, usually like 90% of the time, when Bitcoin is doing really well and moving up, the market follows as well. We are still joined at the hips with Bitcoin, so to speak. We have not decoupled yet. So let's see how things continue to play out. I'm still waiting for Bitcoin to hit 6,800 and higher, cross over 7,000, and then I'm going to say we're in a bull market. But I do not believe we're in a bull market yet. I believe there's a bullish sentiment, and we are transitioning from the bear to bull market. Now, Galaxy Digital billionaire Mike Novogratz, well known in the crypto market. Galaxy Digital being his crypto investment firm, but he was on CNN today, so he's doing a lot of media stuff lately. He said Bitcoin should cross $20,000 within 18 months. Now, this is along the lines of what we've been talking about lately. There is a bullish outlook on the market. The big, a reason for that being the Bitcoin halving that is going to take place next year. So that is going to reduce the block rewards, increase the mining difficulty, and so less Bitcoin is going to be produced and put out into the world, so to speak. And that's going to create a natural scarcity. So many have predicted that the price will increase because of that reason, because of the scarcity, and that has happened historically every time you had a halving. So Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz said he expects Bitcoin to beat its all-time high price within 18 months. Novogratz made this his remarks during an interview with mainstream media CNN. During the interview, Novogratz said that he believes that the $6,000 is probably a stall point and the next one will be $10,000. Moreover, he expressed the belief that this time other cryptocurrencies aren't going to jump, or I should say go up nearly as quickly. He explained the other coins, Ethereum and the next biggest, XRP, or he says Ripple, they have to prove use case, right? I agree with that to a certain degree, but what we've seen continues to happen is everything still moves with Bitcoin. Like I said, 90% of the time, there's 10% of the time where you have alts pulling back with Bitcoin moving upwards. These scenarios do happen from time to time, but the majority of the time we see alts moving with it. But I get what he's saying from a use case standpoint. I think because Bitcoin, and he mentions that it's being positioned as digital gold at a store of value. It is the original. It has the brand. And, the Lightning Network is coming where it's going to improve its scalability, its usability, and reduce costs, make it faster. We also see that a lot of financial instruments and products are being built around Bitcoin. And it usually starts with Bitcoin and works its way down the list, but ETFs, futures, and so forth. And we have the big players launch. We saw Fidelity go live. We saw ErisX backed by TD Ameritrade. And we hear E-Trade is on their way. And Bakkt is going to launch later this year. So there's a lot of things happening around Bitcoin. And I certainly don't see this as a ridiculous price point to reach again, since we already nearly hit it in the last bull run. But this time around, more scarcity, more institutional investors coming in, and a lot of mass marketing about to start for crypto, guys. So interesting prediction here, but let's see how things progress. Tom Lee, a guy at Fundstrat, he made a lot of predictions, and I know a lot didn't come to pass. I'm surprised that some of the predictions he made last year, given that we were in a bear market, but I agree with his sentiments here. He says, in a period where political tensions escalate between the US and China, global equity markets fall sharply, VIX largest spike in many months, global yield curves flatten/invert, Bitcoin has risen and is higher than or greater than $6,000. Crypto is showing its value as an uncorrelated asset. So this is the new asset class, guys, and it's on the rise. The big money's getting in. The governments are regulating it, and we are seeing and hope this continues. That if the general markets pull back and economies slow down, that crypto being the new asset class, people start flocking towards it and moving their assets to it. So that can help raise the prices, of course. Now, moving ahead, crypto mom Hester Pierce, a commissioner at the SEC, has once again reiterated that the heel dragging by regulators and so forth is slowing down crypto innovation. They are moving slow as hell, which is annoying. Living in the United States, we know there's a lot of capital that is sitting on the sidelines. Many institutions that want to use crypto are afraid to and don't want to touch it until there's regulatory clarity, and a lot of entrepreneurs are moving overseas. So the U.S. is losing out, and we know the Token Taxonomy Act has been introduced to Congress, but still we got to wait for that to go through its process. So she once again reiterates this, and I'm glad she's doing this. Keep lighting the fire under these people who are slow and dragging their feet. We gotta get the regulations. We gotta keep moving. And on that note, it seems like the FinCEN is doing something here. Shout out to this person here, a professor at Cornell, Emin, if I'm saying his name correctly. But FinCEN apparently put up a webpage and they pulled it down, but the document that they had attached to the webpage is still live, and the name of it is Application of FinCEN's Regulations to Certain Business Models Involving Convertible Virtual Currencies. So it's regulations for money transmitters on cryptocurrencies, and like you said, this guy said they deleted the webpage, which is interesting. Maybe they need to make some updates, but he goes through what's the implication of this, and there's some interesting takes on it. Let's see. To my own non-lawyer eyes, this looks like mostly bad news. Running a Lightning node requires a money transmission license. Oddly, providers of anonymity, oh man, I can't say it. That word today. Services are exempt. Decentralized operators, but not necessarily developers, are money transmitters. Someone responded with the following. It makes sense. The XRP ledger has a built-in decentralized exchange and forced Ripple to register as a MT, a money transmitter. This shows their lean in approach to regulation was correct, light years ahead of crypto. And we remember, guys, you should remember, we covered this on this channel like maybe a year ago or over a year ago, where Ripple got in trouble with the FinCEN, but they sorted out their issues, and actually this is what they allude to, Brad Garlinghouse and these guys saying, hey, we've been working with these people from like years ago, before crypto was even on the map, right? In resolving these issues. And it looks like, from a bad news standpoint, I don't think it's bad news. Maybe if, some folks are looking to do some different things, but, in the long term, it's not bad news because they have to regulate the market. We can't ask for big money to come in and not have the regulations. And the big money is going to help, push some of these regulations as well, because it's going to be beneficial to them versus the smaller exchanges or exchanges that exist outside of the normal enterprise level structure, right? Let's say in the enterprise level, we have Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, RSX, Bakkt, and so forth. And then you have like Coinbase, and you have Binance, and these Bittrex, and so forth, right? Which are not part of that establishment that the big players are from. But they're going to put regulations in place, guys, to protect users, protect themselves, and so forth. So it seems the FinCEN is making some moves at least, but we still need more. But this is very interesting. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a link to this tweet. This guy who broke it down here gave his thoughts, and you can read through the document he links to here. It's very insightful. But patience is the key here, guys. We continue to see movements towards regulations and setting up this new asset class, the establishment, and so forth. And speaking of governments, guys, Liechtenstein's government passes new regulation concerning blockchain and tokens. And I've also already told you guys we're headed to the token economy, and this bill or this law here is very much around tokenization. So the government of Liechtenstein announced that it has passed new tokenization virtual asset service provider and blockchain regulation in a press release published on May 8th. Per the release, the new Token and VT Service Providers Act, passed on May 7th, aims to improve investor protection, combat money laundering, and establish clarity. The announcement also cites tokenized securities and how digital token systems can be used to tokenize real-world assets. Real estate, stocks, everything's going to be tokenized. That is where we are headed, and it's all going to be built on blockchain and cryptos leading the revolution. This is why patience is important. This is the establishment of a new asset class. Now, speaking of banks and governments and the big money, there's a new Medici bank after 500 years, and this time it's crypto friendly. Prince Lorenzo de' Medici, a descendant of the famed Renaissance-era Italian banking family, the House of Medici, has opened a bank in Puerto Rico. Medici Bank, born out of frustration from the current financial services landscape, aims to offer faster, cheaper, and more transparent services. According to an announcement Wednesday, notably the new institution will serve cryptocurrency firms, as well as other traditional clients such as family offices. Now think about this. It's not specific to crypto, but they're offering services to crypto. And they actually mentioned that here. They say, let's see here. Although Medici Bank is willing to serve crypto businesses that comply with due diligence and know your customer processes, it is not exclusive. It is not an exclusive focus of the bank, according to one of the folks there at the Medici Bank. So I think this is a new trend. And you still see some big banks trying to fight crypto, right? Like JP Morgan was trashing it, then they released their own crypto. So eventually they're all going to have to bend the knee, and they're going to have to offer services, because especially when the regulations come out, and as this industry grows, this asset class grows, they're going to be forced, because people are going to be borrowing money and doing different things with that you would need to do with traditional bankings to set up their crypto services. And this is where we're headed. Banks are going to start facilitating and helping crypto firms and so forth, the guys who need financing. It is certainly the way we are headed. And I mean, just look at who's getting involved, right? The DC family here. Now, BitGo hires former Wall Street Forex trading exec. I share these news items with you of talent that is flocking from Wall Street and traditional industries into crypto. The writing's on the wall. We saw this in the 90s when the internet was getting established, and a lot of different companies that were being built, like your Amazons, your Googles, eBays, and so forth. Talent started flocking to there because it's the new disruptive technology, the new industry, a lot of potential. And that's what's happening, guys. It's happening on all fronts, right? The money, the talent, and so forth. The governments are on board. So crypto custody provider BitGo has hired Nick Carmi, former head of Forex trading at a number of Wall Street banks. I don't need to go further. I think it's pretty straightforward what's happening here. We see it's amazing what's going on and the talent that's coming into this market, because as I've said many times, with the big players coming in, they're going to look to position this new asset class the same way the stock market is. Fully regulated, financial products and instruments, mass marketing, making it easy for both retail and institutional investors to trade and invest and do their thing here, guys. That's why I say count yourself lucky. You're here early. We are the pioneers, the early adopters, and patience is the key. But the facts are in front of our face, right? I always say I wish I had this news in late 2016 when I got into the market. So, guys, what do you think about Mike Novogratz's prediction here that Bitcoin could cross $20,000 within 18 months? I don't think it's far-fetched, given, once again, the halving and the big players launching. And let's hope the U.S. can move faster, man, to get some regulations. But things are progressing overall. Crypto's global, which makes the opportunity so big. Everyone from the continent of Africa to Europe to Canada to South America, they're all getting on board. We see a lot of exchanges popping up globally with fiat on-ramps. Future is bright. patience is the key. Guys, what do you think about this news? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the description. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.